Welcoming guys to another scout report, and today we're back on the defensive side of the ball with the defensive lineman, defensive line slash tight end, no, not tight end, defensive line slash defensive tackle. And today we are scouting Derrick Harmon. Derrick Harmon, he's a defensive tackle from Oregon. He's 6'4", 313 pounds. And yeah, 6'4", 330 pounds. Last season, this season, 2024, he had 55 fumbles, 45 tackles, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. So again, he's had a pretty good 2024. And the games that I watched him on: Maryland, Boise State, Illinois, Washington, UCLA. So they're the games I saw him on. And let's talk about his strengths. So first thing I saw on his tape, he displays a thunderous hand that enables him to consistently win with leverage and battle at the point of the attack. He's a quick. The other thing that I saw on tape was that he's a quick processor who exhales ahead of the read. And he's great at blocking the scheme and adjusting himself. Good on the blocking scheme, and then good at adjusting himself on the fly, especially against effectively against the run zone. So his running game, he's pretty good on the running game, especially in a blocking scheme. When they're on a zone running attack, he has natural leverage. One other thing that I saw as well, one other thing I'm going to point out here that he had natural leverage. He's a natural leverage player with his height, especially with his height as well. Like, he's 6'4", man. And I was looking at the combine, and I was watching his combine, and the guy, he's putting up some pretty good numbers, like, for his combine and stuff, and he's getting compared to Chris Jones. Like, again, you're gonna be like a comparison to him. I think that's a pretty good comparison. Like, you get compared to a future Hall of Famer in Chris Jones, multiple time Super Bowl champion. And then Chris Jones, when he had his combine like 9 years ago now, he was only 3'10" at the combine. He weighed 310 pounds, and when Derrick Harmon had his combine like last month, he's 313 pounds, but yeah, there's a lot of comparisons to that's good comparison, like him and Derrick Harmon. Derrick Harmon can compare to Chris Jones, good comparison. So yeah, back to what I'm gonna say. So he consistently sets up under it. Sets his height up and consistently under opponents' pads and on the pads and the drives. He's a nasty, kind of like a bull rush type of a player. That is great at he's great at collapsing the pocket. So again, the quarterback in the pocket, and again, if he's a pocket passer quarterback, then you're looking at this guy to stop that play, and he's a good bull rusher. And then the sacks he was putting up were great. He has great display of against height, and he's great against a pass heavy attack. Now I saw that there's a conference game against Tennessee last season, and they had a pass-heavy offense, and he was just getting through that, cutting through them in a couple of, in that game. He was really fantastic in that game against that offensive line, and really going at the quarterback and stuff like that. He had a good game in that conference game against Tennessee. Then a couple of other things I had here that he's a he has a lethal give, which gives him a 3 down to down potential. Shuts down against. Again, he was against a veteran like offense in the UCLA game I saw, and that gives, he's got a great devastating rip movement against them. He has again some great teamwork when his team are trying to rebuild against the block, and then he has a great integrity working down the field and stuff like that. And then the weaknesses, really what I saw is that kind of needs to kind of contend with his counter movement, and especially as a pass rusher, he tends to get stuck on the block a bit. That's kind of one thing I saw in his tape, is where his needs to extend more on his counter movement. He's more thinking more just focusing on being just clearly on a pass rusher, but again, if he focused more on his counter movement, he wouldn't have to because when he's just focusing on that side of things with his pass rushing, and he's not working on the counter movement, he's getting stuck on the blocks in interior moves and stuff like that. So that's kind of something that you could coach out of him and stuff like that. Sometimes that he can get over aggressive. I saw that this a lot on tape, where Derrick Harmon would get. I love his aggressiveness and his intensity, but he would get over aggressive on pursuing the quarterback. I think that was one of his things that really you can coach it. Obviously, it's not really like a thing like, oh my god, but you can coach it, because at the NFL you don't really want to be like, oh my god, I really want to just get this fucking quarterback. Again, if you don't get to him, you don't get to him. It's just one of those things. But you can see on his tape, he trying to get over aggressive to try to his pursuit of the quarterback, then occasionally running himself out of play. That's kind of, again, something you cannot do at the NFL level. That's something that is coachable, as well. You can coach that out of him with a great defensive coordinator. And then obviously he loses responsibility. When he's over aggressive and trying to get the quarterback, he runs himself out of play, loses responsibilities, and but you can coach that. One last thing I saw here is that occasionally he would play to his would play coming off the snap, especially playing off the snap too much when he's fatigued, or he's trying to go after the snap, especially when he's been fatigued late in the games, which again, it's allowing the blockers to get to his chest and really isolate him. And then really when my overall thoughts on him, like I said, again, comparisons to like a Chris Jones type, especially from the combine from what I saw, pretty good comparisons. I'm looking at really kind of teams he would be fitting for, like the defensive side of the ball. Like the systems that I think he would go in. He's a 3-technique type defensive player. He would thrive in a 3-technique defensive system. So you're looking at like a couple of teams that play that way, like the Jets. You can see that Jets, they play that way. The Ravens, especially. The Ravens, I think he'd be good in the Ravens. Like you're looking at Ravens defense. That is kind of the side of the ball they have been they've shit the bed the last couple of years, especially on John Harbaugh. And now if they bring in Derrick Harmon and that defensive line, defensive tackle, and work that system, that three technique system, and because again, that their defense is working the penetrating the interior in the defense, and that's where Derrick Harmon is really good at three technique scheme. Needs to work on his intensity. Needs to work on his snaps in intensity with his well. He needs to work more on his snaps, but again, you can work on his snaps. Improve more on his snap to snap intensity, but you can do work with that with coaching, so it's not like, oh my god, it's something major. But overall, where do I think he's gonna go? My overall thoughts, he's definitely gonna be a first round pick. Gonna be, I think in my opinion, he's a top 10 pick. I'm gonna say top 10 pick. There's a lot of potential in Derrick Harmon. A couple of things that you can coach out of, like you can coach him and stop being. You don't have to be too over aggressive on your persistent to get the quarterback. And I think if he's under the right coach and the right defensive coordinator to get the best out of him, and the best defense with him to help him in the trenches and stuff, I think you've got yourself a good defensive line for the next 5-10 years, for the next 10-15 years, that you can, again, with a bit of growing and a bit of persistence, that you could have and potentially could win a championship with.